Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's your girl Chantelly Ness, also known as TheChanWay, and I'm back with another video for you guys. Before we get started, go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. If you're here for the second, third, fourth, or fifth time, thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it. And go ahead and like this video and comment any questions that you have below, and I'll make sure that I answer them. Follow me on Instagram. I have it tagged below in the comment. You guys can contact me faster on Instagram. I'm not gonna lie, I rarely get on Instagram either, but I at least get on Instagram and check it at least like once or twice a week. So if you have any questions about my career, what I do, flight attending, the interview process, anything, I am literally a talkative person, obviously. So go ahead, follow me on Instagram. I'm gonna tag it below, and I'm gonna tag it right here, or right here, or right here, or right here. I don't know. Anyway, today this video is going to be about a couple of things that I feel like you should know before you apply for the job. So I'm just here, thought I'd make a quick little video. You can just an inside view of the job. So if that's something that you're interested in, stay tuned. If it's not, stay tuned, because you might just learn something that you never knew about flight attendants and what they do. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel, and let's go ahead and get into the video. So one of the first things I wanted to talk about this job, once you are thinking about applying, once you have applied, you're getting closer to the process of training, the base options. No matter what airline that you are trying to apply for, you can find out the base options of each of one of those airlines on Google or anywhere else, but you know, Google is like the main place. But you can find them on Google. And you really need to look that up, and you really definitely need to pick your airline based on what is feasible for you as far as the base options. You can be a commuter. Commuting is definitely possible. I said it in my last video, but I just wouldn't recommend commuting, and I wouldn't recommend commuting. I personally just wouldn't recommend commuting, and I am a commuter, and I'll probably be a commuter forever, or until my airline puts a base or somewhere that's in the south that's not Atlanta. But yeah, I am a commuter. I just personally would not recommend it. It is a job. Like, it takes a lot of time from the back end, it takes a lot of time from the front end. It really is a job, and if I had the option to not commute and actually move to a base, I would. I mean, I do have the option, but none of that sounds good to me, so I chose to commute. I still choose to commute. But yeah, that's doable. But if you can move to base, you know, if you can suck it up and, you know, put aside the cons of wherever the bases are and move to base, you may want to do that, because where you're based at really makes or breaks this job. You really need to think long, strong, and hard about where you want to be based, and filter that out. If it's an airline that you really want to work for forever, and you look at their bases, but this other airline has more feasible bases that you can actually, you know, you have an aunt that lives here, or your grandparents live here, so you won't be doing a lot, you know, by moving there and changing your whole life around, then you may need to weigh out the pros and cons of different airlines. Like, it's really a big deal. When you do pick your base, you need to consider the cost of living at that place. Like, I know we just talked about moving and not moving, but if you do move, you need to consider how much more or less that it is than where you're living at now. So definitely look up the bases of your airline, like I said, and just look up the cities, the crime rate, you know, the cost of living. If you definitely have time to do that, you should do that. But yeah, like I said, I commute. I'm a commuter. I make it work, but I just wouldn't recommend it. I'm just giving you my honest opinion, okay? All right, so next. All right, I'm going to talk about schedules. Like, what is a schedule like of a flight attendant? Like, what's your schedule? When people ask me that, I really do not know how to answer that, because my schedule it changes. Like the minute they give it to me, I'm on the swap boards for like an hour or two trying to change it because that's how you get your flexibility. What I can say is, as a new hire starting out, the first 2-3 years maybe, you can kiss your weekends goodbye. You can kiss holidays goodbye. You can kiss all your friends' birthdays goodbye. I mean, not completely, but I mean, you just need to put it in your head that you're not going to be able to make any of that. There are some loopholes, you know, like I said, I'm on the swap board for hours when the schedule comes out. You can trade it, swap it, drop it, whatever. But just know, as a new hire, you're gonna be scheduled like on the weekends all the time. Like I'm scheduled every weekend. I've been able to, you know, finesse a couple of weekends off because of swapping and dropping and picking up and whatever, but I have been scheduled every weekend. So take that with a grain of salt. Yeah, the schedules are like just all over the place, honestly. Like, you're never gonna have a set schedule until you get to that seniority to where you can actually you know, move around your schedule to where you like it. Now, it is feasible because people with kids are flight attendants. Like, people that have 2 or 3 other jobs are flight attendants. It is very feasible to fix your schedule around to what you need to do in your personal life. At first, it just may not be as easy as it gets to be within a couple of years. Like, at first, it's pretty hard to move your schedule around. You just gotta finesse the system, and you just really gotta be one of those people. If you really want time off, you gotta be one of those people that learn different loopholes. Stay on the Facebook swap page, and some people too good for it. I ain't got time for that. I'm just gonna get what I get. Well, if you want to actually live your life and actually enjoy this job. So you live on the swap pages for people to swap shifts so you can get weekends off. I do it. I am never too good to get a weekend off. So I do it. It's possible. Don't think it's not possible. It is possible. That's my little tidbit about scheduling. Next, I have to say about your mental health. Like, making sure that mentally you are good, and making sure that you mentally are in the right space before you come to become a flight attendant is really important, because you're alone a lot with this job. Of course, you have your crew and you have 268 passengers every couple of hours, but at the end of the day, when you go back to your hotel, you're the only one in there, unless you know somebody in the layover city, which is always fun. But 9 times out of 10, you're gonna be alone. So mentally, you need to be okay with being by yourself. If your mental health isn't good, if you know, get depressed super easy, or, you know, just being alone is something that you know triggers you and is not good for your mental health, then you should probably work on that, or I would say this job is not for you. I'm not gonna go dwell into the statistics of the suicide rate for this job, but if you are looking to apply for this job and, you know, just not starting this job, I would definitely go and do your own research about the suicide rate and just about how depression can kind of take over, and it's just very common with being a flight attendant. I definitely would do my own research about that if this is something that you're thinking about doing. And yes, just mentally, you need to be, I'm not saying you need to be 100% mentally at all times, because let's face it, no one is on 100% like good to go mentally every single day. But just make sure that you are someone who can deal with things happening during the day but not take it home with you. There are annoying people at every job, and with 268 passengers 3 times a day, 2 things are bound to happen that like really grind your gears. But you just have to be one of those people that don't let a bad situation ruin a whole day. I always like to say there's no such thing as a bad day, only a bad moment. Meaning, bad things happen, but it's you that dictates whether that bad thing is going to ruin the whole rest of your day. Just work on your mental before you even start applying for the job. Definitely before you go to training, because they could test your mental. And just make sure that you're on your P's and Q's, and make sure that your mental health is good anyway. You always need to be checking on your mental, but just specifically talking about this job, just double check it, because you definitely just always want to be healthy and great. A lot of you always have questions about the living situations, like, do we stay at hotels, do we get to go home? Yes and yes. So if you live in base, after each trip you get to go home. And also it just depends on how long of a trip you're on. The minimum could be a day, or it could not even turn out to be a day. You really could just go to work maybe at like 5 a.m. and get off at 10 p.m. That's just like you did a turn. In flight attendant terms, you did a turn. But for you starting out, you're gonna have at least 2 or 3 days on your schedules at a time. So you're gonna be away from home within like 2 or 3 nights, meaning you're gonna be in the hotel 2 or 3 nights. So just get ready and get used to hotel living. I used to love hotels. Like, I always loved hotel beds, and I always just loved being at a hotel. But I can definitely say with this job, being at a hotel is so like, now. It's like it kind of took the excitement of it. I still like being in a hotel, like especially like the Westins and the nicer hotels. Like with my airline, I can definitely say they put us in some beautiful, like really nice hotels. I totally appreciate it. So, but if you're that type of person that really loves your own bed and your bathroom and your space, and you know, have this meticulous routine that you do before you go to sleep, then you may want to, you know, kind of dial the routine back a little bit and just get used to having to have your bathroom and your room compact into your little suitcase. Like, you're gonna be living at a hotel, so there's not always a microwave in the room, which I hate. It's such an inconvenience. There's not always a microwave, you know. They don't always have the best air conditioning. It may be too hot, it may be too cold, but you should just get yourself acclimated to always being at a hotel. So just bring whatever you need with you and try to get travel sizes of whatever you need. And make sure that, because some layovers are really long. Like when you get a 24-hour layover, you think it's gonna go by quick, but a whole day, especially when it's someplace where you're not about to do nothing in the city, so you're in your room the whole time, and it's such a long time. So the room could really become your home away from home. But you just have to make sure you have the right amenities with you, and your shower shoes, your shower caps, because going from hotel to hotel, I take slippers, I take shower shoes, because I like to get comfortable, but I don't want to get that comfortable to where, you know, I'm just, you know, my clean freaks, y'all may know. But yeah, bring your Lysol wipes, you know. Oh, and if you are somebody who like super duper clean freak, like you need to see the sheets being washed before you get into a hotel, like just cut it out. Because that's not happening with this job. You go through so many hotels that like you of course want to be like super cautious when it comes to cleanliness, but you really can't be that person when it comes to these hotel rooms. Like, you really just kind of have to be like, Jesus, take the wheel, like, you know, like just clean what you can with your little Lysol wipes. But it is what it is at the end of the day. And like I said, airlines, they're not going to put you in Motel 6s, so you don't have to worry about that. But just get used to not having everything you need. Just get used to hotel living. Like, you know, you're on a road trip. That's exactly what you can think about. You're on a road trip, been sleeping in different hotels every other night, and it's fun. Like, don't get me wrong, it's not bad. Like, I don't want to sound like I'm complaining about it. I used to love hotels. Some of them have where you can hook your phone up and watch Netflix, and Hulu is like literally at home, so it's fun. That's just something big that you should think about when you are applying for the job. So this probably should have been like number 1, or I know I'm not like counting, but if you don't like flying, because I get this all the time. People always ask me like, oh yeah, I've always wanted to be a flight attendant, but I'm not like a big fan of flying. And I'm just like, I mean, I don't know what to say, because if you don't like flying, then that's like this whole job. Like, that's one constant of this job, is that you're flying. So I guess if you don't like flying, I'm not gonna like deter you away from applying, but I feel like maybe you should go on a plane or 2 before you actually get into the job, because that's all that you do is flying. And I can honestly say I wasn't the biggest like fan of flying around before I got this job, but it becomes second nature. Like, flying has made me so lazy. I don't even like driving anymore. I just really want to be on the plane. Like, just get me there, get me off. Like, I hate driving now. So I know like flying is a phobia to some people, but if this is something that you really want to do, that you know, you've always thought about doing, and something that you think you'll be good at, then you should definitely take a flight or 2 to, you know, put your feet in the waters. It's really not that bad. Like, I don't know, I just maybe, my family calls me a daredevil, but flying is really not horrible. You'll get used to it. I swear you'll get used to it before you know it. So yeah guys, it's not gonna be a super long video. They never are. I just wanted to sit down and talk to you all about a couple of things that you should probably know before applying or before actually thinking about getting to this career. Like always, go ahead and subscribe to the video, comment down any questions. Do not forget to follow me on Instagram, y'all. Follow me on Instagram. Please ask any questions that you have on Instagram. Jump into those DMs. I will definitely be on there answering any questions that you may have to the best of my ability. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'm sorry I did not say it at the beginning, but thank you so much for 500 subscribers. Like, that may seem like a little thing to a lot of people, but to me it's really big. I just really appreciate y'all's support thus far. So if you're not subscribed already, go ahead and subscribe. Thank you guys again for watching, and I will see y'all in the next video.